Got ourselves a pretty clean little turbo EK hatch. Did a EK Sport shifter install. This thing it's clunky, it's chunky, it's massive, it's heavy duty, it is just, it feels so awesome to just bang through this thing, and it just feels so sturdy while doing it. Of things to do underneath the hood. We need to get some kind of cold air intake made. Thinking about moving this radiator forward into the grill some more, fabricating cold air intake to go down there. Probably redoing the catch can setup. It's kind of hard to get to with the drain, and it's coming off the back of the valve cover, which is beautiful, and it's a shame, but so more to come on this later. Got a Civic here with a H22 turbo. Doing a few things for this customer. Right now what we're trying to do is there is no filter on the turbo itself. A lot of people like to do that. We're going to try to run a pipe over here so you can actually have a cold air source. And you can see what's in the way is the radiator. So what I'm doing currently is I'm going to cut out, I've already started to do this a little bit, I'm going to cut out some of this pinch weld here. I'm going to knock this down, grind it flat, weld it, and then slide this back so that I have more room past the fan to fit the pipe in, and everything should fit back up. Cut out this part of the core support here, and then we basically just cut this piece of plate to fit in place. I drilled these bolt holes so that they will bolt up to the bottom of the radiator, and then we're going to drill bigger holes coming from the bottom so that you can get a socket up in there. Probably put some little rubber feet underneath, and then it'll still use the bracket up here that it was originally bolted in. But it's just going to bring the radiator this much farther back, so we have that much more room to run a piece of pipe all the way down into the fender. Alright, well, no fire. Not smoldering. See, we're welded it all the way around. Got the two holes for the bottom of the radiator. Just priming all this now. I'm going to put a coat of single stage Roma Red on this, and yeah, show you guys what it looks like when it's done. Here we go, guys. It's finished product. That's the factory color, I guess. And yeah, so can't even tell. Gonna bolt the radiator in, and then we'll have room to run our pipe for the intake for the turbo. Paint is dried. The intercooler, I had to space the intercooler out a little bit, but that is all mounted. Fixed a few things along the way. So swapped out the valve cover because we were able to pick up a valve cover that already had bungs welded onto it in the front. The other one didn't have. And the other one actually was in the back, so the oil kind of sloshes to the back, but there were literally no baffles in front of the AN fittings. So oil was able to just freely go in there, and it was filling up the catch can rather quickly. So we're hoping that some on the front will alleviate that, and there's a nice plate TIG welded behind it, so that should stop some of it from going out of there and into the catch can. So we relocated the catch can down here, made a couple nice little standoffs down there, painted them red, some nice matching hardware, and we're actually able to reuse the and lines too. We just had to shorten this one. We were actually able to use this one, so everything clears over here. We're able to. I had to move the 4-port. I did mount the 4-port boost solenoid. I had to mount it down here. I'm going to run the signal to that, and then the last piece of this should be making this inlet. But these lines before were actually just chafing against this right here. They were literally rubbing against the coupler on the throttle body, so this is nice and free now. So overall, I think it's a lot cleaner than when it came in. But we'll pick this back up tomorrow.
Alright folks, it's my turn to get my hands on this thing now. Okay, we are all prepped and ready to go. Dom did a great job. He relocated the catch can. We also modified the front radiator support and pushed this forward. So he gave me as much room as you possibly can to get an intake in there. I have the 45-degree coupler. We got the TIG welder set up. I have my box of intercooler piping. And I have my air filter. All we have to do is connect point A from in here to point B. Sounds easy, right? Well, I chopped down my 45 and I got 2 free couplers out of it from excess. I'll take any kind of win I can get. All right, let's keep going. Alright, we got everything mocked up. I had to make a cut here, and we're going to put a tack weld there to hold this up. Fits in there. Air filter fits in there nice and snug. I opted to go with a coupler here for 2 reasons. One, well actually really no, just one reason. This piece that's holding the filter is going to have a little stand and get bolted hard to the chassis, and the rest of this is attached to the engine, which is going to want a torque. So this will allow it to flex a little bit without having any kind of braking or rubbing issues. So that's the plan. Get a tack weld over here, pull this whole thing out, finish weld it, we'll be good to go. Alright, I am preparing to tack weld this in place, that way we can pull it out and finish welding. Before I do that, I wanted to also make a stand for it to get bolted down, so I went ahead, spent this piece of flat stock, drilled a hole. It is going to get mounted in that ground bolt, like so. Then this pipe can now be brought up, and I will tack it here. And I'll also tack this one here to hold the air filter side. Seems easy enough. Let's make these things permanent. That's the second one of these things that I've melted. So long to another fallen comrade. That just means I gotta get a little quicker. Tack it before it builds up enough heat to melt these things. Or go get them for 99 cents again. So let's keep going. Well, we got everything tacked up. Time to pull this thing out. We'll get it on the bench. We'll finish weld it. Well, here we go, folks. Finished product in all its shimmering glory. We opted for the gold foil because it's, you know, helps get the charge pipe, intercooler, other stuff, so it kind of matches. Might end up foiling this in the future for them too. So here we go, off the turbo, underneath the radiator. It's kind of close to the radiator hose and the fan. Yet another reason for the foil tape. Down into the fender. Pick up some nice fresh air. Coming right from where this fog light would be. What we got left to do is get the bumper cover on this thing, bleed the cooling system, take it for a ride, rip through those gears in the brand new shifter, and make sure everything's working. Another happy customer sent down the road. Making fun turbo sounds. First little rip?
Yeah, seems like we can actually give this thing back to the customer now.
So I think our job is all done.
Yeah.
We've done the fab and the installation.
This actually came out pretty good. So actually have a filter on it now. The Speed Factory 4-port is ran through the gas, plumbed correctly.
Just needs to get wired to the Honda.
So the tuner will have to do that.
So we have it through a filter, it's safe. Relocated the radiator to fit all that, relocated the catch can where it's easy to drain, and we got the front fitting so that way it won't overload. This is installed. Shifter is already done.
That shifter's nice.
Look at that.
That is a nice unit. That just feels solid when you're shifting that.
Okay, so off to the customer, off to the tuner, and another one in the books. And just for the record, we do Hondas.
Yeah, really, we do Hondas.
We do Hondas.